Welcome back to another Projects by Jay, and for today's project we are doing an oil change. So I went ahead and got the car up on the ramps. Also make sure they're secure too, so always throw those little stop blocks in the back. Also got the e-brake pulled up too. So I'm letting the engine cool down a little bit because since I moved it up. So these are the tools you need: your drain, oil filter wrench, and a 17mm socket. And then once you had enough time to cool down with the car, let me try to get under here. That's the drain bolt you want to take off, and then over the axle over here is where the oil filter is. Let me try to get a good shot if I can. Maybe you can see it better from here. So that's where the oil filter is. It's a little difficult to get to, so that's where the oil filter, what would you call those, pliers come in, I guess. I just go from the side of the tire over here where I have room access to reach to the oil filter, and then just loosen from there. Once you get it loosened enough, you can loosen it by hand. So just let it cool down for a little bit more and then get started on it. Alright, I'm gonna attempt my best to check off that oil filter. Hopefully get some good footages for you guys. Alright, so I went ahead and put the bolt back on just to stop the rest of the oil from draining down on me. And still have your joint drain oil pan down here because there might be some oil in the oil filter. Get a better angle for leverage. Alright, got it loosened. Put this back underneath. See what I mean? Alright, and just like that, here we go. So you guys could tell I really needed an oil change because it's really dark. All right, so this is a '03 CRV. So oil filter, if you're using a Fram, is 7317. And you can get other brands. It was just that I was just at Walmart. Oil is a lot cheaper over there, so I just picked up the oil filter and the oil along with it. All right, so one of the things you want to do is always check for that seal around the oil filter. Make sure you got it. Which I'm talking about is this rubber looking piece. Sometimes it will get stuck on the engine, and you want to take that off before you apply the new oil filter on, because the new oil filter, they come also with their own seal, and you don't want to double seal it because that's when it starts leaking. So what we're going to do is just apply some of the old oil just to lubricate this so we get a tight seal, and then we'll go ahead and just screw this back on. Alright, and with this, what you want to do is just get it hand tightened. You don't need to really tighten it that hard. Just hand tighten should be enough. Alright, we're good. And then what I usually do is, since I've been having the bolt stuck up there for a while, I know there's still some loose remnants left back in there, so go ahead and just move the oil pan back and then just loosen the, and let the rest of the oil drain out. Alright, so once we get all that drained out, we're going to put the nut back in, and then what you want to do is just hand tighten it. You don't need to really go all into that. Just hand tying and you should be fine. By hand tying, what I mean is just use one hand, not two hands. Just one hand, use it to tie it, and you should be good to go. Wipe this off. Yep, and we should be good. Don't forget just to clean the areas, wipe it down where all the oil is drained. Alright, we should be good. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and proceed to pour in the oil. So usually if you're doing an oil filter change along with your oil too, you're going to have to add just a little bit more oil. Not that much more, just a little extra. But I know for this car it takes the whole this whole 5 quart just to be at that full level. So here we go. And also a quick tip, instead of pouring like this, because you're going to get gloss like that, what you want a smooth pour, just pour it from the side like this. So it's important to do your oil change often, especially with this one. I take it to work every day, about 80 to 90 miles round trip. So I have to change them often just to keep the engine running healthy. And with that, I usually get the full synthetic just so it'll last me a little bit longer. Plus, this is a higher mileage car too. It's really up there, but it's still running strong, still runs perfect. Everything still works on it. The only issue I have is I have an ABS light on from the rear driver's side, which I went ahead and replaced the sensor, but I guess it's still throwing the code, so it doesn't really bother me much. I just drive it normally. The brake still works fine, so I just left it like that. If you guys touch cars your whole life and you guys understand and know this superstition is that for a good running car, there always has to be something broken. So I figured that would be my broken part to have the perfect running car. So, yep. Superstition, you know. And don't forget the oil cap. You don't need to tighten that much, just hand tying, you'll be perfect. And next, what you want to do is go ahead and start the car, take it off the ramps, get it onto a level surface, and then we'll go ahead and check dipstick, which on the CRV is right here. And I know it should be fine because I've done this a dozen times, and that whole 5 quart should be right where it's at the full line, so it should be perfect. Okay, and just to make sure we safely dispose of our old oil, we're just going to go ahead and use the bottle from the new 5 quart that I just got, and then we're just going to pour the oil back in there. Hold it up. That's my brother. He just got home from work. All right. Whoa. A little heavier than I thought. And as you guys can see, this is really, really dark. So I definitely should have changed it a while ago. Just been busy. And another tip, just in case you're new and you're worried about your 5 quart not being able to hold it, you can always also look at the lines over here and they'll tell you how full it is. So according to that, we still got a lot of room, but I'm about empty right now, so yeah. And then what you want to do is just, you could take it to your local auto parts store to recycle, and they usually recycle it for free. My brother has a whole bunch of old ones collected here, so we're just gonna put it there and until our next trip to the auto parts store, and then we'll go ahead and recycle all of that. And last but not least, we're just gonna close this back up and then clean this and put it away in storage. And this is a good recycle for like old clothes you're not wearing either. You can use it as rags for cars. Just another tip, just don't forget to record the mileage for where'd you do your oil change, and until the next one. Y'all see this? I thought the house was on the neighbor's house was on fire, but it turns out they were just burning stuff. Now, is that legal or not? I have no idea, because that's a lot of black smoke. But we had some neighbors go check up on them, and it turns out they're doing fine. So I guess they're just burning some things. As you can see, there's people over there already too, so, yep. Okay, and just in case you guys are like me, where you turn it on and then you have your maintenance light on, what you want to do, knob over here, so turn it off. What you want to do is hold it and then turn the key back on, and it should disappear. Hold on, give me a second. Try and hold the camera in one hand and do it with the other hand. I'm holding it in. Not turn on the engine, but turn it to on. And there you go, and then it's reset.